All right. So today we're going to start our boot camp for CCNA. CCNA, that is Cisco Certified Network Associate. It is designed for the person who want to join in the course or in the field of networking. Let me share my screen. Just my screen is visual. Hello. Yeah. Okay. So Cisco, that you can also see my screen, that is Cisco Certified Network Associate, the full name. Well, if I talk about the history of how the Cisco has been developed this certification, there is like, well, I will talk about each of the thing throughout the course. Well, what the inside of the CCNA, we are going to talk about the CCNA, why the CCNA needed, what the job roles are there, why it is matter. Like in the year of 2025, there is lot of other certifications as well from Cisco and other. So we're going to talk about some of them and the foundation, why and who needs the to know the network. So first of all, let me tell you about myself. My name is Asutosh. I have been doing like in networking from past 5 years of like as a network engineer. Then I have worked as a cybersecurity analyst and and started the training as well like 3 years back when I have also given the training for security and as well as networking. So now I'm going further and talk about the agenda. Like you already know, the CCNA, why it matters, and the foundation. So the first thing that CCNA is talk about. CCNA is all about the networking, like how we can collaborate with other in using networking. If I'm going to talk about the collaboration here, it is like if there is some enterprise who want to their network secure, their infrastructure, and there would be some data, there would be some information. So they must have to maybe collaborate with other organization. So using the networking, we achieve this goal either in this data center or the most important thing is security that we always need. And the service provider, there would be different service provider or internet service provider. So all these things we understand, we achieve the goal using the CCNA. Now next thing that why and what's we gonna to learn in the CCNA. So CCNA have like you can see there are 6 module and each module have their own set of uh, like design as well as implementation. Like there is some fundamental like network fundamental that is 20%. It's mean that all about in the CCNA we're going to talk about basic what the routers, how the endpoint devices work, how the servers work, and different topologies. We do some like 2 tier, 3 tier, and also some of the small office and in cloud how we construct the network, and these are all basically like fundamentals we talk about it. Next thing that is other is like network access. That is also about 20%. Network access, like how you're going to access some ports, data, and voice, as well as native virtual LANs, how those work, and like how we can have the access of these LAN, WAN, and also the personal area network. Like there would be some routers or there would be some uh, local devices. So we're going to talk about all like cover 20% of network access. Then is IP connectivity, how we can have the routing, how we can have the network mask, and also what their protocols are for routing, as the network route, host routes, broadcast their IPs, router ID. We're going to talk about those things and cover almost 25% of IP connectivity. Next thing, that is a IP services. IP services is all about like internet protocol services. Here we like cover about like what the DSC and different DSCP servers are there, like DNS also, and SNMP, and also policies, what the forwarding hope networks, and as well as TFTP, FTP, and different types of services that we run on the network. And there is 15% that is security. Security is the important thing that here in the CCNA we talk about what the configuration on wireless and wired network. Like there would be some protocols that might be some vulnerability. We talk about the vulnerability, their design, their techniques, and how we can give the like training to individual. Like some of them would be from non-IT background as well. So we talk about all the security fundamentals, like to making our network to be secure. After like all these, we also talk about automation and programming. Like programming is like how we can automate some networking thing, like how you can manage the network using some programming as well as APIs. And like you must have to know those things, and all these six domain we cover in CCNA. So next thing, that why, like what gonna to be after CCNA. So CCNA is a like a network level, or you can say uh, from fundamental to a advanced career oriented certification. And if like I gonna to talk about the Cisco has almost like 80% market share. Those use Cisco devices. And if those devices, like there would be some routers, there would be some switches, and other devices as well. So Cisco also growing their business to 90. So I'm talking about like these 80%, those cover by Cisco must needed some of the individual who have deeply knowledge of how devices work, deeply knowledge of how network work. So this is all the thing that we cover in CCNA. There was some changes like in CCNA as well in 2020 and 2019. There was almost like 10 separate CCNA certification and different technologies. Like there was some CCNA router, CCNA data center, there was wireless, there was security, there is service provider, and those certification has been changed in three most oriented certification like CCNA, CCI, and CCNP as well. And now they have separate each of the like CCNA that all about talking like there was a certification like CCNA routing and switching. So in CCNA we talk about all those things that was CCNA routing and switching, and as well as other like how network work and basic thing, how wireless technology work, how security and service provider, all the things are considered in a CCNA. Next, that is a high level of, you can say, is also another certification that is CCNP, and but that is for someone who have already knowledge of networking. So that is, so next thing, that for the job roles are after completing the CCNA. Like you can see on the screen as well, the first job role is network technician. This is like a, you have to uh, give the support, like how if there would be some error in the network devices, so you have to set up, you have to troubleshoot as well as maintain the devices like switches, routers, and also there would be some problem in connectivity, like cables would have broken, so you have to work such of things to making the connection uh, continuity as well as reliable. So this is the first job role, that is network technician. Another could be a network support engineer. It is like whatever the issue would be, you will have to solve in network. So you have to know what the issues are at the customer side, and there would be some complex problem as well. So you must have to like knowledge, so you're gonna to use all those knowledge to resolve the problem. Like the job role would be technical support engineer. Next would be a system administrator or uh, administrator junior. Here you're gonna to manage the servers and the operations, what the operations gonna to be on the network. You gonna to assist in like updates, how the server should have maintained their updates as well as patch the software, backup the software, and there would be some configuration as well. So you're gonna to have all these things uh, as a system administrator. Next is help desk technician. So as a help desk technician, you're gonna to work in a IT support, that, or you can say end user. You're gonna to have to solve the network related problem, troubleshooting the network. So like also configuration. So this is like a someone facing, like you are working in with a like a low level, or you can say end level of tech support, where there would be some problem with the network or devices as well. So you have to look what the problem is there, and there would be some configuration problem as well, so you have to resolve those. Next is a NOC or Network Operations Center Technician. Here you will monitor and manage the infrastructure from a central location, that is Network Operations Center, and you will monitor the performance for the like there would be some problem, like user maybe have facing some bandwidth problem. There would be some alerts, like after facing low bandwidth they may have is facing the issue, so they will generate some alert, and you have to resolve, escalate the issue, either like by yourself, or maybe you gonna to assign a technician to resolve the issue. So next thing is the role is IT support specialist. Here you will have to support, or you have to give the network related support to individual. Either could be a hardware, either could be a software. There would be network basics setup, or as well as the high level setup, like how within the organization the network should or connection should flowly or continuity like should be remain. So there would be the problem that you're going to resolve as a IT support specialist. And there is also field service engineer. Here also you have to work in a field where you're going to install, maintain the network equipment, and also you have to work at the client sites. So you have to travel the at the client side, set up the configuration, the routers and switches. So these type of things you're going to have like after CCNA. And also junior network engineer. So network engineer is, like you have to assist someone who like either implementing the network or like also installing the devices. And as well, like you always have to document like what the problems are going, what should we do after, and what should you do before doing anything. So either also you have to test the network, like if there would be like a device that may need a higher bandwidth, but the current bandwidth is not supporting, so you have to work on those things to resolve the problem on the network. So these are the job roles. That is not the only, but as a like after completing the CCNA, you're gonna to have like these. After like one of the other role, that is infrastructure technician. Here you're gonna to be like support in a cabling and physical network setup. Like either in a maybe you're gonna to installing some servers or installing some cables in a small organization, or maybe a home, uh, working with the ISP or internet service provider. You have to give the support to individual as well as like patch and set up the devices. Also you can work in a security operation analyst. So here, like in as a security operation assistant, you're going to resolve the issue that may face in the networking. Like there would be some overcrowd on the network. You have to block some IP addresses. So for those things like either blocking or tracking the IP addresses, you have to monitor the security alerts. That may be some log files. There would be some like monitor device tools as well. So you're going to use some of the tools that may help you and to know what the IP addresses are making the problem. And you have to like making the access control as well. Like you have to give some access to someone, and also access control list would be there. So you will resolve the issue over firewall, like what the websites are there, what is allowed and what is not, what the services should be run. So these are the things you're going to work as a security operation assistant after completing the CCNA. Okay, so these are some of the roles that you're going to have after CCNA. Well, after like what we gonna to cover like in the networking. So networking or CCNA. So CCNA started with like a network foundation. Network foundation. Here we're going to talk about the like how the network work, how the basic network work, like how you can what the different cable types are there, what the different architectures are there. Either logical architecture could be or a physical architecture could be. We're going to talk about like network devices. There are some devices you may know, like a Wi-Fi routers, or maybe have a switches, and also like firewalls. So these are the devices we use, but like also these devices may use some protocols, like the protocols we use to manage like the services. Like there would be some HTTP, there would be some FTP. So these services, or the to like use these services, you must have to know what their ports are, and what the protocols they like. HTTP is one of the protocol. They may use 80 by default, but there would be some applications as well. Those applications may use a particular, or you can say the port that associate for them only. So we're going to know all those things in network or network fundamental. Then we're going to talk about the models. Like there are some models in networking, like you can say blueprint, how the network work in a physical devices to like your software. Like maybe you are using the browser, so how those browser use the network, and how your physical devices could be the LAN cables, could be your Wi-Fi routers. So those devices work with different protocols or different services, and those services work together to accomplish or achieve the goal of either sending or the information, receiving the information, and all sort of things that achieved by, you can say, the internet. So we're going to know like reference model, that is OSI, or you can say there is also another TCP/IP protocols or model. So we're going to know different models. Then there we're going to talk about IP addresses. So what basically the IP addresses? So IP, like on the internet, we have a internet protocol address, and same like in a physical, we have our address to either like you want to send something from somewhere like from India to US. So you must have to know your address, like where you are now and where you want to send. So on the networking as well, there would be address, and we call it IP address, or that also considered as a a logical address. There would be a physical address as well. We're going to talk about that in also. Well, there would be subnetting. What the subnetting is like what the IP ranges are there, how you can assign a IP or internet protocol by either manually or maybe using a server like DSCP server, dynamic host configuration protocol, that may assign a IP address by whatever the IP address would be available. But there would be like manually as well. As a network administrator, you always have to know what the different IP addresses are. They're and you can assign those IP addresses. So those things we're gonna do know. Next thing is Cisco Basics. Cisco Basics, it's mean like we're gonna to like it's mean not like we're gonna to know what the uh, different Cisco oriented devices or protocols are there. We gonna to know what like how the hardware component of Cisco and their ports, their model their devices and their models, what how we can configure those devices in Cisco Basics. After like knowing the networking models, IP addresses, subnetting, all these things we're gonna to use in Cisco Basics. Here we're gonna to use the devices and know how we can set up those devices. Next, we're gonna to talk about Cisco device management. Management, like how you can manage the devices, what the like ISO files are there, how you can configure, how can we back up the devices, how we can recover configuration settings, and if something gonna to be wrong. So here we're going to know uh, even after installing there would be some errors, so how we can resolve those errors in Cisco devices and manage all the problems like password recovery as well, and registry like configuration and those sort of things. Next, there is that is dedicated to switching. So switching you we're going to talk about the functions and the configuration of switch command, like how there would be some different commands that may help in switching. So we're going to know what the virtual LANs are also, and their configuration, port security, and different topics that relate to switching as well. So after this, we also we're going to talk about the uh, RSTP protocol, that is a rapid spanning tree protocol, and also STP, that is a spanning tree protocol, to also VLAN like switching features. That is one of the feature of switching, that is virtual LAN. So we're going to talk about their protocols and also like uh, channels, how the channels work, and so those things we're going to talk about in routing. So after routing, we have a IPv4 and IP version 6 services. Now you may maybe you have idea or not, but there are two different types of IP addresses we use in the devices. Like there is old version that is IP version 4. The devices those like we use today have both of the IP addresses, but IP version 4 as well as IP version 6. So IP, why do we need there is two versions? So there was lack of IP versions in back of the days. Like IP version 4 is just a 32-bit address, and the current devices around the world is not, or you can say higher numbers increase throughout the time, and the IPs are not available to associate each devices that available. So we introduced new version that is IP version 6, and it has a 64 or like bit. So we're going to talk about 128 bit of address, and so 128 bit you can assume like how much devices can be associated. So we're going to know each of the IP addresses and their users. Well, after IP version 4, we also going to know what the wireless technologies are there. Wireless, like you may using some Wi-Fi routers, or maybe some switches that may have wireless native wireless connectivity as well. So we're going to know what the standards are there, what the different encryption. That is the important thing for wireless. Like if someone going to capture your packets, so what he gonna do, like maybe encrypt it. So if we're gonna to use an encryption that is easy to break, so our network can be vulnerable to attack. So we're going to know different network or standards, wireless network standards, the encryption, the protocols, and the purpose of wireless LAN controller and access point. So these are the things we're going to talk in the wireless. And next, that is the security. So security that everything on the internet have to be secure. If you are not aware, or if your customer, your who ever using the internet, or whoever using the or connected to your network, must have to follow some security practices. They must have to know what consequences could be if they may click on a link, or maybe have no idea the um, basics, the password policy, the VPN that we use as a software to encrypt our network. So there are different types of attacks as well on the network. So in the security, we're going to know the secure, how we can robust, make the robust network. And if anyone gonna to be attack, or maybe get into our network, they must have to work hard to break down the our network. So so to achieve the goal, we must have to know like how we can achieve the security. So we're going to know the security things as well, one authentication, authorization, confidentiality, and also the concept of policies, VPNs, and so on. We also going to know how we can implement security on Cisco devices. So Cisco devices, like there would be some Networks are considered as a layered, like there are some layer devices like layer 2, layer 1, layer 3, layer 6, layer 5. So there are 7 layers in OSI models. So we're going to know like different devices that have their own features, their access control, their security features as well. So we're going to know all sort of things. Next thing is implementing a secure network. How we can implement a secure network either without like knowledge, like you have to get the information how your devices, how like you can encrypt those devices. So in the implementing security on Cisco devices, uh, like that help us to protect the network as well as making the devices more user friendly, or the network would be uh, trustworthy. So we're gonna to learn those things. After, like there is also automation. Like automation is the important, like as a administrator you always you must have to sort of work. So to accomplish or achieve the goal to securing the network, making the availability of the network, and also the confidential and and also access controls, all sort of things have to managed by you. So as a like administrator, as a network engineer, you always have to work to different with the softwares that may have to will help you to automate as well. So we're going to know there is Cisco design network architecture, there is also software defined networking. So like also the programming concepts in the automation and programming. So, yeah, there is also the programming that may help you to program, like how you can, if there would be some update. So in a Cisco devices, so you must have to like know how what the devices are there, what the different modes you can say, or you can achieve the goal of security or confidentiality, integrity, and so those sort of things we're going to have in programming. Next, we're going to have a quiz. Quizzes, like we're going to know how much you have understood and all sort of things. Well, each of the concept would have their own labs as well. So we're going to have practice using some simulation as well as the network or web services. So next thing that is like foundation. So in the foundation, starting from the network, like in year of era of uh, AI, still we need information to be or communication should be established throughout the world, and those information or those communication should be through wireless or wired. So you have to work, or you have to know how the different devices, different software, different hardwares, and different computers work together to achieve the goal of networking. So so all those things, like if I wanted to talk about the network, so network we cannot say like if there is google.com, and you have to you have to go the google.com and have their data and come back to country India, so you can you how much cost, how much time, how much reliable, either this is reliable, no, exactly. So to achieve the goal of either in a cost, either in a security, either in the speed, or either in the scalability, reliability, or availability, all sort of things comes under the networking. And networking, this is not the and not like there is some history as well about the networking, like in the back 1960s, and there was some 4 and 5 devices, and those 5 devices have their own wired connection. But today, millions of devices around the world, and all the devices have their own set of features, their own set of limitations, and also there you can say there are some servers, there are some personal computers, there are some users who may have their transaction over the internet, over the network. There is millions of devices, those selling their products, working together, and so on. All set of things are possible using the network. So there are like software, there are some application, there are user, and all together making the network reliable. Maybe also sometimes you may face errors, sometimes you may face attacks, sometimes you may face unavailability of the network. So so network is very big, but to achieve all sort of things, you always have to and this is the continuity, you can say, work that help your organization, that help every individual to achieve the goal of security, and also helping to share the information, and all sort of thing that either you may using social medias, either you may connect it to your friend through internet, like on WhatsApp. That is an application. So these sort of things, and these sort of things have their own services. Like if I'm going to talk about HTTP, that is one protocol, but the protocol have their own service, hypertext transfer protocol, we say, and there is some port. So there are different services, there are different ports, there are different. So these services, these ports maybe have some vulnerability, or maybe end user uh, like did something that make your network unavailable. So as a network engineer, you will work together either in a team, either as an individual, to resolve those problems. So to understand better, to accomplish all these tasks, you have to gather the knowledge of networking, and the CCNA is all the answer of all these questions. So that's all for this bootcamp. If you have any question, you can ask. Yes. Anyone have any question? Okay. So that's all for this bootcamp, and CCNA, and Cisco Certified Network Associate certification. And okay, thank you.